Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be talking about Alex Pereira's encrypted message he posted on his IG story just recently. So in the message or in the post on the story, it shows 300 plus 30 equals 3. So the 300 obviously stands out. So 300, UFC 300. 30, what is this 30? Like, is he talking about Aspinall? A lot of people are saying Aspinall's 30 years old. And then the other 3 is like 3 divisional champion. So he already won light heavyweight, well, the middleweight, light heavyweight. And now it's the heavyweight belt. And he will be a 3 division champion in MMA. So that's what people are kind of insinuating right now. It makes sense, I guess. So 300, obviously, no matter how you cut it, like 300 is UFC 300. So that's out of the equation. So the 300 is the easiest thing to, I guess, understand or to make sense of, the 300. So no need to really look too much into that 300. So the 30 is that Aspinall's age, and why would he be fighting Aspinall for an interim belt? Is Jon Jones retiring? But you know, Jon Jones being who he is, I doubt he's retiring right now and just gonna give the belt without, you know, getting that Miocic fight, unless he's like really severely injured. But the way he's talking, this does not make sense. And I doubt the UFC would just allow Jon Jones to overstep Stipe and Aspinall and the other challengers to fight Pereira, who just won his light heavyweight belt after getting knocked out by Adesanya, like with 2 fights prior to that. So it just doesn't make sense that it would be a super fight, or no, Pereira would get a matchup for a heavyweight belt. So he would not fight for an interim belt against Aspinall. And Jon Jones will not likely fight Pereira at this point, especially coming off injury, and it just does not make sense. It would be a big fight for sure, probably maybe the biggest fight that they could probably come up with right now, maybe like Jon Jones versus Pereira. Yeah, it probably will be, but yeah, Jon Jones at the point, I don't think he's going to take the risk of taking that fight. Yeah, he's not going to take the risk of taking that fight. As a matter of fact, he might even take that fight. So it'd be a big fight, you know, it'd be big for his legacy, and it's a fight that stylistically he should win and whatnot, but again, I don't think he's going to just overstep Aspinall and Miocic. I think he wants that Miocic fight, so he got to get that out of the way. So he might be on UFC 300 for a different reason, to fight Miocic, but to fight Pereira and just avoid that legacy fight against Miocic, I doubt he'll overstep that. Aspinall, I doubt he'll overstep Aspinall to fight Pereira, and that would just look crazy. Like, you overstepping your rightful contender to fight a former middleweight champion who just recently, like literally 1 fight ago, just won the belt. So it's not like he's cleared out the division by any means. So yeah, that don't make no sense. I don't think the Aspinall fight makes sense, and I don't think the Jon Jones fights make sense, and I don't think him fighting for a 3rd title or a 3rd division title makes sense. But I have, you know, put it together, and I have figured out what the 30 is. Now, I think a lot of other people have figured out too. They want 30 knockouts. So, well, that was 2 things. One, people were saying Aspinall's 30. Then other people were saying 30 knockouts. And I think that's the more accurate, more accurately what he was insinuating, or what he's pointing to, is the 30 knockouts. So, yeah, I don't think it's Aspinall's age. I think it's how many knockouts he would have if he wins his next fight and by knockout. So he has like, 21 knockouts in kickboxing. I think he has about like, he has 21 knockouts in kickboxing. He has 7 knockouts in MMA, and he has 1 knockout in his 1 fight in boxing. So with 21 in kickboxing, 21, 7 in MMA, that's 28. Then 1 in boxing, that's 29. So 1 more knockout in a championship fight. You know, no matter what he does next, his next fight gonna be a championship fight, because he's a champion. Unless he gets injured or sick or something, he has to vacate his belt. But by all means, or all senses of things, his next fight will likely, much more than likely, be a title fight. Whether it be him trying to fight for someone else's belt or him defending his own belt, it'll be a title fight. So he'll get a 3rd title. And in the UFC right now, he has 2 titles. He did not defend either of them yet. He beat it. You know, he won the belt from Adesanya. He immediately lost it to Adesanya. So that's 1 world title. Then he moved up to light heavyweight, beat Blachowicz. Then he beat Prohaska to win the vacant light heavyweight title. So that's 2 titles. So if he defended the title at UFC 300, that would be 3 titles. It wouldn't be the 3 titles in the sense of a 3 divisional champion, like middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. but this would make much more sense. I think it would be much more easy to put together. So I think him being one of the bigger stars, maybe really the most interesting star the UFC has right now, like active and, you know, become a divisional champion, you know, fan favorite, fun fights, and, you know, a finisher. You know, he's what you want. He like doesn't say a whole lot. He goes out and he knocks folks out, you know, simple to the point. And yeah, like, you know, just a fan favorite right now. He's one of the bigger stars right now. Bring a lot of attention. So it would make a lot of sense that he would fight at UFC 300. And I don't know if he's going to fight at 300. But I don't think it's going to be a heavyweight fight. I think it's going to be him defending his light heavyweight title. And another 3 is this will be his 3rd fight with Adesanya. So that could make sense. Adesanya didn't really take a whole lot of damage in the Strickland fight, more so to his ego than actual physical damage against Strickland. And they had recently been chirping it up again between each other. Really more so Adesanya keep replaying the same knockout, and people keep putting edits on the same exact knockout. But yeah, it would make a whole lot of sense that they would have that match. Even though Pereira is saying that he's moved on from that fight, he was the one who called him out first. Yeah, he was the one who mentioned first. After knocking out Prohaska or TKO in Prohaska, he was like, you know, he's going to give Adesanya a chance. Adesanya gave him a chance or whatnot. He wants to give Adesanya a chance. So even though he's saying he's moved on from that fight, I think if Adesanya like said he wants that fight, you know, he spoke about it, I think Pereira would accept it. I think the UFC would make it happen, or, you know, put in his ear to make it happen. So this would be that 3rd fight in the UFC, and it would be the end to the trilogy. So both of them are 1-1 in MMA. Kickboxing, I think with Pereira's 2-0 against them, so in 2-0 in kickboxing. But as far as MMA goes, they're 1-1, and this would be, you know, it would be big for UFC 300 to have not a super fight, but a super trilogy, I guess, a big fight between those two to end the trilogy off as far as we know in MMA. So 1-1, it would be that 3rd fight into the trilogy as far as MMA goes. And if Pereira wins, it would be his 3rd title. Again, not as far as divisional titles, but as far as I won a title at middleweight, that's 1. I won a title at light heavyweight, that's 1. So, like, you know, just focusing on the title fights themselves. Like, every time you win a title fight, that's a title. You defend it one time, that's another title. You defend it a second time, it's another title. So, yeah, defense will count as a 3rd title for him. So, it'd be his 3rd matchup with Adesanya inside MMA, inside the UFC, and it would be his 3rd title, his 3rd UFC title. So that to me makes the most sense, and I think that's what the Cryptic message is pointing to. So Adesanya's been in Mexico at some points training. He again recently been posting about Pereira, you know, kind of being a troll and whatnot. So yeah, that's what I'm getting from this one. So you can leave in the comment section below what you think is happening. Do you think it's Aspinall? Do you think it's John Jones? Do you think it's a 3rd divisional title, or do you think it's just him picking up a third title in general, like a general 3rd title? Because he's won the middleweight title, didn't defend it, that's 1. He won the light heavyweight title, didn't defend that yet, so that's 2. But if he defends the light heavyweight title, that would be 3 titles for him in MMA and in the UFC. But yeah, so my 300 is UFC 300 is with everyone. I think everyone gets that as UFC 300. 30 will be his 30th knockout, and 3 I think is a double meaning. It will be the trilogy with Adesanya, and it will be his 3rd title. So again, that's my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.